Guys, welcome to episode 5, Coffee with Mirko. I'm happy to have you back here today. It's gonna be another pretty amazing session. So, as per usual, grab your cup of coffee, wait for me to brew mine, and let's welcome Caleb Cha, also known as Caleb Tiger. Now, I'm gonna wait for a few of you to pop online, waiting for my water to get nice and almost boiling, and then I'll do a little introduction about today's guests. Adwa, how are you, my friend? You're the first one tuning in. I hope you get a cup of coffee. And yeah, waiting for more of you guys, waiting for the water. And then today we are drinking Guatemalan coffee, La Ponderosa, by Paradox again. Our friends from Paradox supporting us with some coffee. We got 12 grams of that. Mohammed, how are you, my friend? Okay, so today, hey, Mims Bob, know who you are. Kanbosha, how are you guys? So today's guest, whilst I'm wetting the filter, the paper filter, today's guest is Caleb Cha, also known as Caleb Tiger. He's a 2015 World Barista Champion. So you guys are in for a good treat with this guy. I met Caleb about a couple of years ago, and something that I really appreciate about him is that no matter how busy he is, he's always friendly, happy to smile, happy to chat. And I think having such a humble attitude in any type of business is just really, really special. So not only is a world latte art champion, he also is a teacher, a judge, and a coffee shop owner. In fact, he owns a Tigerous Espresso on Queen Street in Melbourne. So now we're waiting for this baby to brew, and then we'll be able to talk more about him and talk with him. What I would like you guys to do is, towards the end of the live stream, just send through any questions you got for him or for me, and we'll be able to have a chat and hopefully inspire you, give you some value, and help you out with any coffee or business question you got. So get yourself coffee, get yourself comfortable, and then we'll be able to get things started. So another interesting thing about Caleb, I find, is that no matter what, he's just always happy to, I don't know, have fun. You can really see his passion for coffee in such a true way. Whether he's pranking his friends, asking them to make some latte art at his shop. It's just always good fun to be around, but he's also such a hard worker. And yeah, you guys are in for a good treat, so stick around and ask away all the questions you got, and it'll be a pretty solid session. Today's episode number 5. Happy to see how well it's going, everything. We got more episodes lined up. If you guys have any guests that you want to see on the show, feel free to tell them about us. Feel free to reach out, DM us, and I'm happy to invite anybody. And we can get started on a lot of other different conversations, different people. So far we had Len Butler. Yesterday, GB, we got Jessica Lemby, we got Andrew from Flair Espresso. So whole range of people. We're gonna have more international guests and more values for you and the people watching at home. As usual, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well with the lockdown. And shall we? Here we go. Today, I'm drinking Guatemala La Ponderosa. That's a filter single origin by our friends from Paradox. And yeah, drink it as an AeroPress. always delicious. Grab yours. Let us know what you're drinking. Are you drinking a French press, a mocha pot, an espresso, a latte? Let us know, and then we can get started. All right. Let's see if Caleb is online, shall we? And then we can start the conversation with him. Such a legend. Let's have a look if he's online. Here it is. Send. Connecting. Waiting for Caleb Tiger. While I wait, let's hi to a few people. Amar, Santosh. Yo, from the car.
Yeah, man. On the driving, bro.
a true hustler, and I got the memo because we got the same, bro.
Hey!
Where are you driving, man?
Oh, I was actually stopping by a few places, and I actually stopped the car for this interview.
Oh man, you're a true hustler. You
No.
never stop, never stop. You never stop, man.
I wish I could stop for a while, but yeah, sometimes you have to do what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that you're in the car on the live podcast, it's yeah, that's called dedication, man. Hey, Tiger Georgia, glad to see you back. So I talked a little bit about you, but I think I should let you introduce yourself and yeah, tell us more about you, man, about your coffee journey and how you started. It'll be great to hear from the man himself.
All right, thank you. Okay, well, my name is Caleb, and I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. I started a coffee in 2008, so now it's 13 years experience in a specialty coffee industry. And I was just a regular barista, and I started competing from 2014, came second in Australia, competed again in 2015, became an Australian champion, competed in Sweden for the Worlds, became a world champion. Since then, traveling over the world, ran a lot of workshops and trainings, and inspiring like younger generations, and having a lot of fun with other legend baristas, and meeting a lot of people like you, Mirko. And then and then now I've got a shop in Melbourne, so running business and doing a lot of stuff. So still doing it. It's a very difficult season, a difficult period, as it's a Rona's everywhere, but still doing. And then yeah, that's the Tiger.
That's a tiger. So, well, yeah, look, obviously we know each other, and I think that's the beautiful part of our industry, how we can connect with people. And I mean, you all over the place in the sense of, you know, you judge, you teach, you probably do events, compete, a shop. Obviously, you got a lot going on, but what's your favorite thing out of all that you do?
Favorite thing? Sitting down on the couch and watching Netflix.
No. I don't believe you, bro. That's not you.
Well, I think I like to talk about the education. So it's about like everything about education. It could be a coffee education or language education and anything about education. So especially I am in the coffee industry. So since 2015, when I became the world champion, I thought I had to share my knowledge and experience to people who really want to learn. So that's what I've been doing so far, and I think that became actually one of my favorites, like still. So it's actually still happening, still teaching people and still sharing my experience and knowledges, and people love it and I love it too. So anyone like who's interested, let me know. I'm definitely happy to share for everything. Yeah.
Thanks, man. And I think it's probably the most one of the most rewarding parts of what you do when you teach. It's different than handing over a flat white rather than seeing one of your students growing, being able to get a job, and from there maybe start competing and see their progression from not even being able to steam milk, from burning milk, not even able to dial in a coffee grinder to who knows, maybe become the next Australia champion. So I see how your personality fit that very well. Going back to the championship, I'm sure that most people have asked you this, and I don't want to be a boring interview and a boring session, but most people would want to know this. Guide us through it, because I've heard that back in 2015, you were training, you were doing about 300 cups a day, 7 days a week without breaks. Is that right?
That's 100% true. I was very lucky because that's one of the best support I could get before the competition. That's the best support, isn't it? So I was very lucky. My previous employer and my previous the staff, and they're all very supportive. So I was able to train myself without any hassle. So pouring 300 cups, it was just like this. So I had 20 cups. That was a one set. So per design, I had 5 sets. So that makes 100 cups, right? So I had 3 patterns repeated 3 times. That comes to 300 cups a day. And I couldn't stop because I wanted to win. I was desperate because might be just one in life chance in your whole life, so you really wouldn't want to screw it. And then I really want to be ready for the world championship. So that's naturally I really want to do. I want to train myself for getting better. So yeah, that makes 2,000 cups per week, and then it comes to yeah.
That's a lot of cups. Yeah.
That's yeah. I couldn't count it back then. I counted it later, and I was like, really? Should I do it? If you ask me to do it again, no, hell no, man, no, I can't do it.
Yeah, I think. Well, you obviously were natural at it because, I mean, first competition to get to second spot, it's already pretty big achievement. And on the second shot, you got both Australia and the world. I think there's people who try so hard, and to those people, I'm sure you're gonna tell them not to give up because it's all about that practice. And it's good that you're still grateful about the opportunity that you had to pour those 300 cups. But, I think you already answered the following question, which is, what's your secret that pushed you towards the win?
My secret is my probably repetition and hunger for winning. Nobody pushed me to do it. Nobody asked me to become a champion, and then that I wasn't even having a plan to win the competition. I only started this for one of the experiences. But after the first competition, I got something was just rising up from my heart. I was like, oh, I want to do better. I want to have a better result than ever. And then, well, I suddenly became desperate for winning. And then, and from that's what just practice. Practice is just what I can do for everything. I don't know, that only thing, like, you have to win because you're responsible for winning for Australia and also as a Korean for Korea.
Of
Um,
course.
very, very high pressure, very heavy responsibility was on my shoulder. I had to carry on to the world stage.
Thanks, man. I think you're so spot on as well about South Korea because we have seen a large amount of South Korean baristas popping up more and more in the last 5 years. So you obviously were a good and strong influence that inspired a lot of your fellow Korean people, man. Like, you know them, I know them, and it's pretty. Must be a little bit of pressure, like you said, on your shoulders, but you handle it very well because you won. um, but how did you get your first job in coffee in the first place? Why?
Um,
Why coffee? What were you doing with coffee?
it is because I was not able to speak English when I first time I come to Australia. It was 2008, and of course I needed a job, but no one wants to hire when you don't have any experiences and you don't speak English properly, and then well, so I couldn't work anywhere. So I started in the Korean restaurant, worked for 6 months, and I realized I don't have money because the rates were very cheap. And then I looked around and realized that Melbourne was the coffee capital. So this city, Melbourne, was very famous for coffee. So I was like, okay, what if I learn about coffee? What if I challenge to a complete new area? Because I didn't even drink coffee at all. So I decided to learn coffee from Melbourne and then learn from William Angliss, one of the famous school. After that, I was very lucky. I was able to get a job straight away after I completed a course. So that was 2009, 8 or not 8? Was it still 8? So that was just the beginning of the all stories.
Yeah, thanks, man. Barista Roshin is commenting something that only you can read. um, no, well, I can relate to that to a degree because I came to Australia in 2011. I couldn't speak English, and I started into hospitality. So that's the only thing I could do. I was working as at a cafe all rounder, and then I got in Sydney. And then when I came to Melbourne, I started looking into coffee, and my first machine was a Wega, and
Nice.
I was working with what was it? Oh yeah, we had Genovese coffee back then. Was the cool coffee to have, and yeah, that's how it started. That's how I got it, man. Yeah, the English factor is important, but I like the fact that what you said before about having one thing is super important for a lot of people, young or old. My entire concept is about fixation, turning a passion into a fixation. And your fixation in 2015 was to win the world. And because of that, you would wake up and think about the world, about the competition, WBC. And that's all you could care about. And that's why you managed to pull off and get where you are today. So I get you, man. So what's your favorite latte art pattern right now that you developed?
Well, still, well, Tiger is one of my favorites. But now I recently made the giraffe. So the giraffe is it's poured, but it's just a free pour pattern. So like Tiger needs to do a bit of etching on the surface, but giraffe is poured 100% free pour. And I never thought that I would be able to pour like that, because that's a completely different style to what I have been pouring. Because I'm kind of old school man, right? So I became 2015. The latte art level in the world was compared to current period. It was back then. It was still not much developed. Very skillful, but in creativity, not much be developed. So back then, the zebra was the opening the box, and then I thought I was gonna win because of this zebra, coffee drinking zebra. That was a really good pattern. I still think it's really good.
I remember. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks. But I am staying that level, that kind of style. That's a like a new idea, looking good, those kind of patterns, but not very much skill, like intricate patterns. I wasn't able to do it. So I was struggling for a few years, and I met Arnon and Irvin, also Ampol, all the past world champions. I had a chance to meet them, and yeah, check them out. They changed the game. They changed the whole latte art industry, and significant changes happen since Ampol like singing in the stage like I believe I can fly. Yeah, you flew. Actually, he flew, right? And then showing off his beautiful Tinkerbells and stuff. It's like, got my eyes. Wow, look at him. He's doing. And right after the Arnon started to draw the patterns, like deer is looking back. And then Irvin using that skill, even crazier patterns came up. So I thought I was be like, I'm really old school now. So I had to practice again.
Of course.
Learning a new skills, learning how to use the dry form, and designing the whole like my system was like about to blow up, because I didn't know how to do it at all. Struggling so long, like stressed out, and I could even feel how Anon and Ampol and Irvin was freaking out to creating that kind of patterns. So after a few struggles, I was able to make some kind of unique patterns like octopus, like bye bye takoyaki, and the cynical giraffe, and people love it. Thank you very much.
Good.
So yeah, now I like takoyaki as well. Like he's just saluting one of his hands because he's gonna go for takoyaki soon, and then it's a bit cruel though. And now, but still favorite is cynical giraffe. It's very, I feel still very difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rosettas, drawing legs and trees, and then face was the thing. Like face, ear, and 2 horns. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, and I like what you said about the game keeps evolving, and you gotta keep evolving within the game. Obviously, you've been busy with judging, teaching, having a coffee shop, etc. So you're not doing just latte art. So, and I hope that my fellow Italian Manuela started more of a new journey for Italian baristas. I like to see more specialty back home, and I know you know her, and it was it was good to see such a random country last year to get it, and hopefully it's the start of new countries and new patterns and new designs, like you said. But I mean, would you compete again, or are you sticking with teaching and you just want to be good for yourself, or would you actually go back on the stage next year or the year after?
That's really interesting question, and also I'm actually thinking about it. Okay, first of all, do you think I should compete again, like in latte art?
Well, I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I think that it's all about chasing your passion. And if you, I understand a lot of people who win latte art, they want to be barista champion or compete for a different category. I get that. If your heart is in there, well, then yeah, sure. You got lots of resources, lots of friends, people who support you, from your fans to professionals, colleagues. Then yeah, you could probably compete for barista. You got probably a coffee brand that can support you behind you, and why not? I'd love to see. I mean, I'll support you. You know that. So that's it. You know, you're such a friendly guy. Every time I look at your content, even you can tell just from the pictures you take, your selfies at the Milan Expo last year, or one of my favorite of your posts is actually you with Ampol and your other friend, and you had the filter as old people, and you're like old grandpas. That's just mint. That's my favorite of your content. Like, fuck latte art, bro. That picture is great.
That was Ampol and Irvin. Yes.
That's it. And you know, like for me, if you can bring that joy and that personality on stage, then it doesn't matter what category you compete in. And if you land 10th, 5th, or 1st place, you're giving the world something more than just coffee or latte art.
It's gonna be the challenge, of course. I know it's very. I understand how the competition is made, and I feel like I don't necessarily compete in the same competition like latte art, because I know there are so many people who's still very passionate about latte art. I think it's their chance to win the world. I really don't need to go there, and I could. I love it. I still have a lot of passion in latte art, but still, it's their time. It's time for their to challenge and feel that kind of vibe in the world stage. So for me, what for me to do is to challenge to the other areas like barista competition, brewing competition, or like good spirits, or even cup tasters or whatever. I'm more into that. Believe it or not, I'm more into tasting than pouring.
I believe you. I believe you. I believe you.
Yes. So if I get a chance, if I'm very lucky, I would definitely like to try to compete in barista, and brewers, and also, yeah, there are so many different competitions, and I definitely want to compete once again.
That's very humble, I think. Yeah, that's good. Giving other a chance is, yeah. I didn't think about that. That's very cool, man. For real. And obviously, you've seen a lot of people competing from your judging, from you know, judging at comps. So you know the drill, you know the routine, you know what's up. You're not new to it. Therefore, I think it's yeah. I can definitely see you competing for barista champion. 100%, man. It would be pretty fun to watch you. I mean, the other day I was watching Len Butler routine because I had him on the show a couple of days ago. Very good guy, good dude. I hope to meet him one day in person. And what I enjoy about his routine, it was just how calm he was. I felt like I was on meditation zone, man. I felt I could have done meditation. It was super soothing. His voice, it was calm, you know. Then you look at Sasha routine, and it was more engaging and more like, oh wow, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah.
With you, I think your personality and your smile, your brightness would also show and shine through the stage, not just that's it. That you know it. Like every time I come to, every time I see you come to Tigerous or bump into you somewhere, you always smile. I'm sure you got a shit day too sometimes, but that would really, I don't know, man. It'll be a different type of experience for the judges too, I reckon. That's my take.
Well, everyone could be emotional. Everyone has their emotion, and they have their rights to express their emotions. Um, for me, I'm very easy to read. Everything is in my face. You can very easy to read how I feel about. That's why I try to keep myself happy, because you can read how I feel about everything. Even though I'm sad, you could actually read I look sad. It's okay for me to show my emotion to you that I'm sad, but in some reason, it's very difficult for me to feel the others realize that I'm sad
Yeah.
or kind of upset. So I try to remove that kind of negative emotions rather than just having happy vibe and show them how I smile and how I react, how I talk, and then that actually affects to people who meet me, right? Like you come to my shop, I always like, hey, Mirko, how you going, bro? Bam, bam, boom, boom, ciao. So that's really important thing to whoever you meet, and then that's I think that's the first impression plus alpha. So I don't know. That's what I've been learned. A lot of people, and yeah, that's why I react to all the people that I see.
Oh man, I think a lot of people have this obsession around the word hustle, but I think we should rephrase that and be more humble. I think being humble and showcasing compassion and humility is also very important to make an impact, to others. I think I'm losing you because I can hear myself crackling through your phone. Oh, okay. But yeah, look, I think, yeah. So, all right. Much better, man. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. This is not perfect. So yeah, I think being humble and showing positivity goes such a long way. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so where were we? Take my friend Caleb, Peruvian coffee waiting for you. Tito Cafecito. Someone wants to send you some Peruvian coffee. There you go.
Hey, Tito. Who's here?
Yeah.
From Hungary.
Yeah, there's some people from all over the world. Yeah. If anyone has any questions, please drop any questions for Caleb. He's always happy to answer all questions for myself. So, going back to you, what's next in the Caleb planet as far as the shop goes, as far as teaching with Corona? Are you doing online classes? Are you doing virtual classes? What's next?
Well, I might sound cliche, but I would definitely want to spread my shop in the world. And of course, I'm preparing my online courses. And in 5 years, I want to have my own roastery. So it's going to be some places in the world. So that's the base camp for spreading my coffee beans over the world. So it's not happening now, but I am having a lot of meetings, and I'm meeting a lot of people to talk about this and trying my hard to make it happen.
So have you been roasting? Have you been learning to roast lately?
I roasted like long time ago, and I recently the last roasting I did was, when was it? A couple of years ago, and I don't have time to do it, first of all, and but I love to do it, and I need some more research because now the trends a little bit changed, and now more process. So it's about I really need to learn more about the process and how that affects to the roasting profiles and how the results, all the relative informations that's what I need now. So I think it requires me more about like a year or 2 more years, and then anyway, my plan will be starting as soon as this pandemic finished.
Of
Damn,
course.
pandemic.
I know,
Damn,
it's
I like
crazy.
this corona.
Look,
Oh, damn.
I know, man. Look, I think as long as we all healthy and don't get sick is the number one win. And look, I see positives in this lockdown, just because I like to see positive in things, or I try to. It's a good chance for us to have our inner journey, look at inside, talk to ourselves, and it's uncomfortable because we used to work, and we never have the time to talk to us, to ourselves. So for some of us, we're lucky to have a roof, some food, coffee, being able to talk to people live, and we're privileged to be able to survive and grow in different areas. We got a question from For Creator. What kind of coffee do you like to drink and why?
Okay. Thanks for asking for creator. Uh, my favorite coffee do I like to drink? I love to drink espresso. That's what I need. I only drink espresso and single shots only.
Single shot only.
Yeah. And then I could drink those single shots like up to 5 to 7 maximum, as long as it has different characters and stuff. So um, I love the moment that drink one espresso when I open the shop before start. Shot, boom.
And as far as that's the type of coffee, but Copy Dua drinks a double or filter. Well, I'm on you on this one, Copy. I drink a double, but it's pretty good choice. Double or single, still good. Caleb maybe likes the single life. Single espresso life, I meant.
Yeah.
Now, we got another question, and then I'll go back to coffee. Tito is asking, in your countries, where is it? Here we go. The coffee businesses have stopped 100%. When they reopen, what hygiene measure will they adopt? I'll let you answer, and then I'll give you my answer to that, because I'm sure we'll both have something to say.
In your countries, where? Like Korea or Australia?
Yeah, we're both here. Yeah.
Okay. The coffee business is not 100% stopped, so takeaway is still available, and roastery is still roasting their coffee. So
Yeah.
delivery is also available. So the trading is still happening, but the thing is the offline, I mean the having here, like dining is not available. So a lot of the customers, they only can do takeaways, but still that affects a lot to the coffee business because you cannot have them inside. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons my business got really struggle now, because I have tables upstairs and they can come inside and have a seat and have a coffee, but now it's the only takeaway available.
And also, there's less people in the city because a lot of people are still working from home. So you miss a lot of traffic as well from corporate or non-corporate people working into the city. So I think the CBD has even worse than certain suburbs, because a few suburbs they can still manage. They got bigger spaces because rent is cheaper, and they can still do a little bit of food to be delivered. And people are stuck at home. So when they feel lazy, they might order Uber Eats and have a burger or whatever they order to eat. So I think they have least amount of impact. I'll answer the second part of that question to Tito. In terms of new hygiene rules, I think we are going to see still a little bit of social distancing in terms of space between people. So probably queues will have different crosses to have a meter away from each other, and perhaps there might be hand sanitizer at the entrance of the shop, or disposable gloves for baristas. We're gonna see a lot of these different things. But yeah, going back on the coffee, Caleb, what origin are you enjoying, or you? I know it's a tough one, but what origins have you been enjoying lately?
Lately, it's not the single origin though. I am enjoying a little bit blends like Kenyan and Ethiopian. But I always in love with Costa Rican or Ethiopian.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Andre Agassi, saying hello to you. Hey man, and only coffee to go or little group of person enter? Do you get little groups of people or just one person at a time coming to the
We sometimes have a group of people, but they have to have a social distance, so everyone cannot come in. So just a few people came and place an order, take all the coffees and take out. Yeah, so they cannot come in all together.
Yeah, that's the same. And I actually haven't, because I only drink espressos, I actually haven't been to a coffee shop in 3 weeks because I can't have espresso in a takeaway cup. I refuse. So that's why I've been just drinking AeroPress, man. Like, that's all I get. And I get that. What do you drink at home while we're talking about coffee?
The brew?
Whatever. What do you drink at home?
I have a Panama Hartmann at the moment, and I'm teaching my wife how to brew the coffee. So she's very, very good barista now. Now I'm enjoying how to brew coffee at home. So I only drink the brew coffee at home. Yeah.
All right, we got 2 questions. One is very quick. Mirko, are you Italian? Yes, coffee addict. I'm Italian, been in Australia for 9 years. And Andre, my man, he's asking, any good beans you recommend for pour over? What beans are you recommending for pour over at the moment?
Wow, that's like too many options, man. It's like everyone has different preferences. It's for you to find the right beans for you. So for me, I prefer, it's personal thingy, but my personal preference is African coffee. That's my first pick, is African coffee for brewing. So yeah, I will always go for African coffee. If I'm lucky, I could get some coffee from Panama, like geisha kind of thing. That's also a good experience for drinking, but we all know how it tastes like. So for me, it's more like consistent flavor, kind of, very characteristic Ethiopian, and that's like floral, winey, beautiful aroma, bellissimo.
Bellissimo. You're talking my language, man. My first contact with, my first experience with specialty coffee is actually with Ken Tang, which is, not sure if you know Ken, but he's the father of the boys from Workshop. And he's like super fixated with like expensive coffee, man. And I used to not drink coffee. In Italy, I never drank coffee. So I was like you. I came here, didn't drink coffee, and now it's just coffee, coffee, coffee. And the first coffee that I started liking was, yeah, Ethiopians. I know it's obvious, but yeah, man, I like that. I like that stuff, and
It's very
you can't.
obvious, isn't it? It's just like, this isn't this Ethiopia, and I don't like it. So why you don't like it? It's just truly, truly, enjoyable anywhere you go.
100%. Andre is asking something to do with other roasters. Andre, I'll answer to that question in the DMs because we can't get sued by different companies to talk only about other companies. I think he wants to know which coffee roasters we recommend. I think as long as the process of coffee in the single is roasted properly, it's all about what you taste in the cup and if you enjoy it. There's a question for you, Caleb. There's two questions for you. When are you back in Italy? What do you think about conservative quality there? And then we go, what's your favorite commercial coffee machine? I know the answer of that. And and then there's people saying Master Caleb and a high five.
Hey,
So,
Vicky.
sup, Vicky? Yeah, two questions for you. There you go.
All right. What do you think about the conservative quality there?
So
Ooh.
I'm assuming it's Robusta, bitter, old school, I guess, coffee.
Um, well, for me, I'm very honest. I
Please.
don't, yeah. I'm very honest. I say direct, very open. I don't hide behind. So my experience in Italy, coffee was surprising. It was much, much better quality than I imagined before. So, of course, coffee, espresso, all the coffee, menus come from Italy, and I respect that. But I never experienced that before. So I had my own imagination about the Italian coffee because I got a lot of negative comments and negative blah, 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 blah. And I went to Italy, experienced it. Mamma mia, that was bellissimo.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So I was quite, yeah, like really, 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 really surprised, and I truly enjoyed it.
I'm actually gonna have an Italian week on the show, so we're gonna have well, it's almost confirmed, but we're gonna have Ruben Gardelli, obviously from Gardelli Coffee, and then we're gonna have Francesco Sanapo from Ditta Artigianale, and a friend of
Apple.
mine, Alberto from Tostato, which is a shop, specialty coffee shop in Brescia. Amazing guy, and he's one of the judges and one of the guys from the Italian SCAA. And as far as favorite commercial coffee machine, roll of drums, what is it?
Favorite commercial coffee machine. Well, what is that? I don't know. Well, what is my favorite commercial coffee machine? You tell me, Mirko.
Well, I don't know if it's your favorite, but your choice is a Black Eagle because you can train and practice on it.
Well, yeah, I have a Black Eagle in my shop. It is because it's a still um, actually competition sponsor, and I thought I was able to have a lot of experiments with a lot of different beans and stuff. So I chose it, and it's pretty good. And I have open-minded, so I rather have more positive parts, and I wanted more experience in every single different coffee machines like Black Eagle or La Mazzocco, and then a Sanremo and everything, every coffee machines have pros and cons, but I really want to look into the pros because the designers and technicians designed it and made it for that reason. So I really want to see how much that's beneficial for coffee flavors and how does it work for actual practical for the coffee industry. And I really want to look into that. So negativities, every machine has the negativities. It's just a, it's a physics. So yeah, that's it. So that's why I don't have my favorite commercial coffee machine. I actually love all the machines, positivity, and it actually affects all the positive flavors for some certain kind of coffee beans. So I really respect that, and I appreciate their efforts and work.
Technology,
Yeah, technology.
100%.
Mm.
100%. A few people left because it's late. Tito, it was 3 o'clock in the morning while they was watching us, and same as Copy. So very late. So they stayed up because of you. That's great.
Thank you.
Cheryl says, hello from Cheryl Coffee. I'm from Bali, and I come to your workshop at Caswell, Jakarta before. Hey,
Cheryl!
Cheryl. What can we do with COVID-19? Many baristas in Indonesia lost their job. Crying face. Very tough.
Well, it's actually happening same in Australia. Like everyone lost their job, and even I lost my staff as well. I think there's nothing I can do at the moment, but what we should do is just stay together within social distancing. Yeah. I thought about a little bit what we could do for like especially in this period. We should stay together. We should support each other, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we can do.
I think you're spot on, man. I think you're spot on. And I think a lot of industries have suffered. And if we stick together, support each other with small, medium, large initiatives, and as long as we're all healthy and protect the elderly and the people who can get seriously sick. I mean, you have seen my country, how bad it got in Italy. We both know many people from Italy in coffee, non-coffee. So it's tragic, but I think we're gonna get through it, and what's next is gonna be even better. That's my feeling. I think what's next eventually is gonna get better. And look, humans have a short memory. In 2-3 years, we probably have forgotten about the virus because we forgot about 9/11, we forgot about other pandemics, we forgot about Chernobyl. We remember, but our brain is developed to move on, to delete, and to go to the next project. So
Yes.
hopefully, coffee shop can reopen soon, and you're so right. We got time for a couple more questions, and Coffee Addict asked, what do you think about last World Latte Art champion, Manuela Fenzore? They're Italians, so I get why they asked that question. Thanks for the question, Coffee Addict.
Oh yeah. That's a good question. I judged Manuela on semifinal, and I was like, she was super energetic, super happy person, and then she nailed the preparation. No, I mean the stage. Her energy was overwhelming, and I was like, wow, look at this lady. This tiny little lady is overwhelming the show. I was really, really like surprised. And then as soon as she managed the pouring on the station, it was like super steady. It was like copy and paste. Boom! Copy, paste. Boom! Enjoy my coffee. Thank you very much. That was so professional. You know, there's nothing I can say a word. It was like, yeah, 6. What do you need more? It's just 6. And then later, after the final, yeah, her name was announced in first place. That's it.
That's it. Amazing. Man, thanks, Caleb. We chat an hour and you stuck in your car. I appreciate your time. Thanks for it. No, for real, man. Thanks for coming. Very grateful to have you. At least we get to see each other like this instead of the shop until better days. Ergon just said good days soon, which it means obviously it's going to be some good days ahead once we get through this. I hope that you can now have the time and the effort to develop your online virtual teaching school and all these projects that you can do now a little bit because a little bit more time. And thanks for coming by, man. If you want to say anything before you leave, it was such an honor having you, man.
Thank you very much for your time today. I really enjoyed your interview, and really happy to see all the people lying here. And then I'm happy to answer all the questions, and I appreciate your time. And after this pandemic finished, we definitely catch up again, and let's have a drink.
100%, bro. 100%, my man. You know what? I'll give you a fist bump. We can do that.
Boom!
That's it.
Woohoo!
Thanks, dude. Have a good night. Thanks for chat. We'll talk soon, and we can do this even in a couple of weeks if we're still in lockdown.
See you, everyone. See you later, somewhere else.
See you, buddy.
Ciao.
Ciao. There you have it. We just finished an hour with Caleb. He's such a legend. I was lucky to meet him several times, and I hope you got value out of this. We CO4 creator, this barista, Ergon Saparova, Cheryl Coffee, Coffee Addict, Copy. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the conversation. Your questions help us and other people to learn more about coffee and competition and anything that you guys ask. We're happy to answer it. And at the moment, we just cap it at 1 hour because that's the limit of Instagram. But we love having this conversation. It's almost like being a coffee shop at a coffee table and you're listening to a couple of people. It's almost like having a coffee together. That's how I like it. Barista Tram, thank you. Karma Caf, to you too. And yeah, it's almost like a little community. We can all have coffee, listen to different guests. Copy Dua, NL, so I'm assuming you're from the Netherlands. Maybe you live in Indonesia, I think, maybe. NL usually is Netherlands. We've got still 2 minutes, I think, before it cuts off. We're going to have more guests coming up from Monday. We got full schedule, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We got some, as usual, amazing guests. We're starting Monday. We're going to release now the guest. It's actually Ben. He's the owner, coffee roaster of Tin Man. This barista, Australia represent, you know it. Karma Caf, you miss cafe, me too. Copy, live in Netherlands, but roast Indonesian coffee. I knew it, because copy means coffee in Indonesia, I think. I get it, I get you. Good to see you here again. Thanks for tuning in. Watch out for our stories for the next guests. If you have ideas, if you got questions, if you need help, feel free to message us. Always happy to support the coffee community. Always, always happy. So until next time, Monday, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Time, we're having Ben from Tin Man Coffee Roasters. I met Ben years back, and he's such a humble guy. He roasts such amazing coffee, and I'm so happy to have him. He sent me some coffee, so I'm gonna be able to brew his coffee, drink his coffee while we have a chat. Copy on Monday. Monday, Australian Eastern Time, 9 a.m., which is 8 a.m. No, sorry, which is 8 hours. So it should be around 1 a.m. or 12 a.m. Europe time. Italy would be 1 a.m. So it could be midnight in the Netherlands. I'm not sure. But hey, Ergorn, Monday we're here. Thank you. It's Australian Eastern Standard Time, so we are way ahead of you guys. So yeah, make sure you tune in with the time zone. And a good trick is just to turn on the notification. Until then, I got 30 seconds to say goodbye. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for sticking around. And London Midnight, Coffee Addict says. So I'll see you London Midnight. United Arab Emirates, not sure. Check the time zone difference. Until next time, enjoy your coffee. Be humble and be safe. Ciao.